Hello there, this is Space Runner 5. Welcome to Cards. This is a new game on the channel. So, for a premise of what this game is it is relatively new. This is a deck building game, much like Hearthstone or Artifact, if you played either of those games, where you basically go ahead and... Oh, that is not what I want to click. I want to go to Cards. So, there are the 5 general factions. There's Britain, Russia or Soviet Union, U.S.A, Japan, and Germany, which each of them has their own different playstyles. Britain is very tanky and very defensive, where their units tend to have extra armor or they have a boost to their HP, so they're very resilient. The Soviet starter pack, or I guess Soviet, not the starter pack, the Soviet Union has a bunch of small little guys they kind of just throw out at the front lines. They're all very cheap, so that was actually some German cards in here. They tend to have, let's go ahead and just do Soviet. They tend to have some detrimental effects, just because they are so cheap. Deal 1 damage to a unit and your HQ and draw a card. So they have extra card draw bonuses. They're not super tanky or buff. It's just a lot of little guys and token generation, for the most part, from what I've seen. Then we have Germany. Germany is kind of your big hitters. If you want to equivalent to Magic, it would be green, where they have like their Panzers. See, this is Panzer II, which is just pretty generic. 1 attack, 3 defense, but it has Blitz, which I think most German units have Blitz. So Blitz, you can move and attack the same turn that you come into play, so they can be very aggressive early game. So I guess you could equivalently get that to red as well. But they have a lot of big hitters, 4-3, 3-6, 4-5, 8-8 for their Tiger 1 tank. And I don't have all of their cards because I've been playing with the U.S. Well, I've been learning since I am from the U.S. I'll be a little bit of a patriot and root for the U.S. And then you have Japan. Just look at some Japan cards. They tend to do like extra like basically clearing the field. Like here, destruction, when this card's destroyed, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So they have a lot of basically removal of cards and abilities. So like black mana in Magic. And then the US is a lot of card draw and basically buffing each other. For example, this order gives a tank and infantry +1/+1. So they have a lot of things in that regard. And just like basically ramping up production, and healing. So let's see. Yeah, and then you got the American Sherman. So if you go ahead and click on any of the cards in the game, you actually pull up all the information about the tank in World War II. So example. The M4 Sherman tank was a medium tank used by American Allied forces during World War II. So it's pretty cool. It's an interesting theme. Nice little logo. Very iconic for America. And then go ahead and create a new deck. So you can do any of the normal 5 factions as your main part of your deck, which is going to be your first 28 cards, or at least 28 cards. Because each deck is 40, but you can also ally any other faction, plus France and Italy. I haven't played yet with France or Italy. I don't know what their cards do yet, but I'm sure we'll find out in the future. So, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into a battle. The only deck I really have prepared is the U.S.A. and Japan. That's the only one I've been playing with so far. So, interesting loading screen. The music in the game is from the era of World War II, which is pretty cool. I think it's like a smooth jazz, though I'm definitely not an expert in music. Looks like got to showcase some German tanks here. A little bit of a German plane, I guess part of the Luftwaffe. I'm assuming these are Shermans, but I don't know. I'm not that big of a history buff. More of a medieval times buff, much like the era of like EU4 and CK2, which, if you don't know what those are the other games that are showcased on the channel, but those are grand strategy video games. but this one's more of an RTS deck building game, as I've already stated. Just go ahead and give a little bit of extra reference. Alright, so I guess we found a game. So, we are, looks like we're player 1, so we get to go first. This actually looks like a fairly decent starting hand since this unit costs 1, got it in order for 1, 3, and 5. So we at least have our initial phase start out with playing down the MH and then followed by an Awoke Giant depending on what happens. So the way this game works is there are 3 basically areas of the map. You have your home base, the enemy home base, and then the front line. So your units can travel to the front line to attack their base, and likewise they can do it to ours. And then there are 4 general unit categories. There is infantry, artillery, tanks, and then aircraft. No naval units yet, though I can only assume that'll be coming in the future. And that was a 0-cost unit from Japan. That was free to... Oh no, he costs 1, but he's free to move afterwards. So, we will... I'm actually okay just sitting here and waiting. So, the way the units work is this 0 costs 5k to place, and then it's 2k to move on the field. So in order to move to the front line, it'll cost, well, let's say for this unit, the M8, to move to the front line it'll cost 1, and then to attack it'll cost 1 of anything in the front line, which we're actually just going to use the Awoke Giant to clear this guy out. As we actually can play. Oh, can I only do it in the front line? Yeah, let's just destroy him. He's gone. Go ahead and keep our M8 in reserve. Actually, we can play this guy, move him forward. And that'll be our turn. So, this guy, if he is in the front line, he gets our back line +1 attack, and this guy just gets all friendly units +1 attack, so they're buffing each other. So attack, defense, and then unit type. And then if there is anything underneath a card, it's a special ability. So this is the same card that we have here, the type 93 right there. And so each turn, your gold income will go up by 1, or I guess not gold income, you'll get an extra 1,000. I don't remember what this unit for money is. But so our enemy's taking a little bit of time to think about what they're doing. Gonna suicide his type 93 apparently. Oh, just so he can use the Awoke Giant. Interesting. Let's see, 6 to R5. Don't need to repair anything, so we'll just put out a 4/4. He's a nice beating stick. He's now a 5/4 because of our type. Is it 93? Yeah. Eventually, I'll learn these card names, but still pretty new to the game. It's good. So, the smoke screen ability makes it so that as long as the unit doesn't move, he can't be attacked. Moved, or I guess, unit can be attacked until it has moved or attacked, so you can also attack. Get it +1/+1. Interesting. Now we can play our 0. Just go ahead and do 1 damage to it. Because this is the first turn it deployed, so it technically moves, so I can go ahead and do damage to it. That'll be our turn. Which now made it so our infantry can actually clean him out if or annihilate this unit as trade if he walks forward, which I don't think he will. I think this is a defensive unit. Unless he wants... No, he can't walk forward and then do Sherman to draw 2 cards, because he only has 5k. So, the ability on the 0 is Ambush, so whenever it is attacked, it gets to do damage first, which is pretty nice. He did walk forward. Interesting. Friendly infantry has +1 attack. It's a pretty nice ability, but we're actually going to trade here. Oh no, he's getting +1/+1. It's okay, we have a 0. Throw down another 0 to do 1 damage here. go ahead and clean trade. This is a good trade, a 5-4 for an 8-5. And then that's all of our money that we have. So we'll end our turn. Cleaned up the board pretty much. And we shored up our defense of our HQ for a little bit. Let's see. I want to move these zeros up the front line just so they can act as a blocker so they can't actually put more troops down. So you can only have 5 units in any one of these 3 segments, and your HQ counts as a unit. So I can only have 1 more unit in this back line before I move units forward. If he doesn't, I'm going to move my zeros up. Played a Sherman. Ooh. That was a bit annoying. That's why I wanted to move my zeros forward so that I couldn't do that. Let's see. Go ahead and do damage. So, because I'm attacking now and get the ambush trait, go ahead and move you forward. And it will fully heal up our 0 using the ability of this guy when he's deployed. And we'll end our turn. So by having the 0 here, basically I'm making it so that if the Sherman attacks me, I'll just kill the Sherman before I take damage. The ambush, so I should be able to build out my back line safely. Fully repair all units in the front line. Give +1/+2. There we go, just like that. I didn't think he was actually going to do it. He must be new as well. Yeah. So that's actually the chat feature. You can customize this a little bit, but you tend to unlock those as you go and level up in the game. I actually want to take this plane out because he does extra bonus damage against ground units. It can be pretty detrimental. Go ahead and take out infantry. Take out the airplane. Walk him forward. And we'll get our own Warhawk. So in case he drops anything on the ground, we can go ahead and just slay that real quick. These planes tend to trade. So when you, well actually we just displayed that, but when you attack with a plane onto another card, you do receive the damage of the card on your plane unless it is a bomber. But I don't have any bombers in my deck because I haven't actually found any of those cards. Let's see. Probably play our Sherman next round to go ahead and draw 2 cards. Let me use. Oh, he's taking away ambush. Interesting. Do I want to trade here? Go and give it +1/+1, so he doesn't die. It's a free card. He still died. Oh, it got the extra additional damage. That was a misplay. Oops. Oops. Just go ahead and do damage. That was a wasted card that I actually would have preferred to have. I should have played the Sherman down first before I did that attack. So I could have had the additional 2 card draw. Well, lessons learned. I'm still not an expert in this game. Nor did I claim to be. There'll be quite a few mistakes, but shouldn't be too bad overall. Let's see. So this is one of our win conditions for the deck. So it's naval operations. It pins all enemy units, which means they cannot attack if they are a ground unit. So we can just go ahead. Oh, it's being guarded. Oof. Can't quite clear that out either. We will. You want to sacrifice the Sherman? No, the Sherman won't kill it either. Let's see, so we do have to sacrifice 2 units, looks like. Go ahead and get rid of the clear him out. So he is going to get this kill too. That was a suboptimal play, I guess. Interesting. Hmm. Let's say we have 24 cards, he has 23, 2 left. We have additional card. 2 damage to a random enemy. Sacrifice. Fortunately, we took on the HQ, not the Sherman. And they're not going to have the front line ever again. So this card's kind of a waste, but early game it's pretty good. Smoke screen is nice. Go ahead and put down guard our home base. Let's go ahead and clear out that artillery piece. Alrighty, they're left with 2 cards. And we have another one of our win conditions in hand, the supply front. Little bazooka guy. So this will be 2, 3, 5, 10. So yeah, we'll be able to play all of our, or do all of our movements. Let's go ahead and do this attack. Make sure it doesn't have any abilities. No, okay. Walk forward, play supply front line to go ahead and heal up our Sherman and give everything a buff in their attack and defense. 10, so 16, so we do win next round, and we have our amphibious assault in case he plays anything. We can just clear it. You don't have to clear it, since we can just attack the HQ. It was in case he played any guard or something. Go ahead and give a GG. There you go. And that's Cards. Very quick run through. Have played a little bit, play testing today. Basically getting the recording software ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and probably play another one because this game's pretty quick actually. You know, that was 17 minutes right there for explanation, and looks like we got a new card. The Betty. Discard a random card from your hand on deployment. I don't think I'll be playing the Betty. I like to keep my cards ready because it can definitely get rid of a valuable card. For example, if you were pair it with Germany and you just throw out your Tiger 1 tank, that's an 8/8 and heavy armor. You know, you just lost one of your win condition. But let's see if I notice this time that we get a little ping on our sonar, or I guess this is radar technically, because there's not a pulse sending out for sonar, so this is radar. Pretty cool the detail they have on these pictures. You got some air flak going on in the background. It's cool. That is a German artillery piece. I don't remember what that's called. Interesting armor on this guy because they actually like introduced slant armor, which helps with the artillery reducing artillery penetration because it'll sometimes bounce off the armor. It's kind of cool. You know, all the physics that went behind actually designing a tank. Yeah, I'm okay with this going first. Definitely not in love with it, but let's just go ahead and confirm. Because we do have our 2 and 3 slot ready. But we don't have anything for 1. Basically, we have the Awoke Giant, which will basically help clear the front line if they're trying to be aggressive. An aggressive German deck, which this is a German deck because it is Danzig, so it's very possible. Well, looks like they did a bit of a shuffle. And my turn. They do delimit the, so if you do go first, you only get 4, and if you go second, you do get 5, and an additional card by drawing. I don't know, it kind of gives a pretty big advantage to the person who goes second. You know, 6 cards to my 4, then becomes 6/5, but that's still pretty advantageous since both points, no one's going to attack you for the first round. You know, the only thing that would happen is I'd get here. Well, I guess if you're a German deck, it makes sense to go first. But, let's see. I don't know what these characters are, and I don't know what language it is either. But it looks like he's running out of time, and if you do run out of time like this, it just ends your turn. It's nothing catastrophic or anything. So what do you have? What's your ability? Smoke screen. Oh, so you're just defensive. Oh, we got 2 giant awokes. That's definitely not ideal. I would have preferred a 2-drop, or even another 3-drop. So we can use artillery and then use the giant awoke to clear this guy out if he moves. Panzer II. I want to see what the Panzer III and 4 card is, because obviously they're going to get better as they go up. What is this guy? The Panzer Grenadier. Or Grenadier, sorry. Another Sherman. Go and lay down a 3-drop. Be a little bit more defensive, because we can basically take out both with this guy. Though it will be a trade. He can take out any of them, still live, which is fantastic. So he's a 2-drop, and he's a 1-drop. Okay. He's ambush. Oh, he's Soviet too. Start of your turn, fully repair this unit. Oh, so you have to fully clear it off in 1 turn. 4-drop. I'm not ready to play a Sherman yet, because they have too much of a front line. Would be interested in the U.S.A regiment, just because we can guard our HQ, and this is a very tanky, or I guess beefy unit, 4 attack and 7 defense. Okay. You have Blitz, wow, so you get to... When you attack, it deals 0 to 1 additional damage. Interesting. Just go ahead and clear it out now. Or we can... Oh, it's free actually to use, actually. We want to clear that out. Pretty quick. And our next turn we'll play the U.S.A regiment, and we'll leave up the Awoke Giant in case they want to go ahead and invade. Let's see, this is the Panzer IV. Okay. It's a pretty beefy unit too. Could move forward 1 and drop a Sherman instead of the U.S.A unit. Give us 2 additional card draw, and we'll have 1 left. So you can trade with you or you. Actually, you'll just kill you. But got a Mustang and the 30th Regiment, which is just another 4/4 beat stick. The Mustang is pretty good for anti-air, since it makes all their air more expensive. Howitzer is just an artillery unit, which is fantastic. Looks like we're going to trade. Okay. Panzer's probably going to drive forward. Yeah, he's going to shoot my tank. It's okay. The Awoke Giant's going to rock. Goodbye, Panzer IV, and I get a card draw. Nice 4/4 beat stick. The Howitzer can't come out here. It'll be fine. But end turn. If he does sit there and he just attacks the HQ, I'm going to go ahead and attack the artillery and then use the Awoke Giant to clear him out and get a card draw. I wish the U.S.A. I could use on the artillery pieces. I mean, it's doubling the damage, and we're safe in the back line. You have Blitz? Okay, you can't move. You can't attack though this round, which is good. Deal 1 damage to a unit and your HQ and draw a card. Alrighty. Let's see. Give +1/+1 to our infantry. Then go ahead and take out that tank. Use the artillery piece. The Awoke Giant. Go ahead and draw off the Type 93, which gives us +1 attack. Let's see. We want the U.S.A Guard. You just go ahead and guard the artillery from attacks and our HQ. 7 cards to R5. Interesting. He hasn't played any of his little token generations from the Soviets or little 1/2s from Germany yet. So you must only have real big drops. Well, there went that artillery piece. 3/4 guard. +2 attack against units with blitz. Seems to be anti-Germany. Let's see. 6/4, 4/4. Let's go ahead and go with the 7th Regiment. And a nice 0. Go ahead and do damage to this guy, just so our 7th Regiment can go ahead and clear him out pretty easily. Five to R4. We get an additional card draw from the 7th Regiment and the Sherman. So that's 3 cards. Oh, there went our 0 for a 1-cost card. Extra card draw from Panzer 38. Still 2/2. Probably walk forward with the 7th Regiment and drop the Sherman. That's an artillery piece. Target enemy unit must retreat. Oh, that's a little annoying. So, naval operations will do 1 damage, and let's go ahead and set up for a round. 7th Regiment in, and the 463rd Battalion. Walk you forward, because we need to clear out that artillery ASAP. So the only thing that can attack us this round are things with blitz, because you guys are pinned. They can't attack. It misses next possible operation of movement and attack. That's a really good artillery piece, a 2/3, a 2/4 actually. That forces them to retreat. It is expensive though. It's a 5/2. 5/2 in cost. Yeah. Right, you are 70th Battalion, which last draw. Put down a Sherman. Oh, another naval. Go and do that. Take out this guy, and it'll pin for another round. I'll keep forward. This guy will basically trade here and hopefully kill that guy. So we have 1 credit. Throw down the M8 yeah, it is Greyhound, which we don't really have anything that benefits from the additional attack from the Greyhound, but it's okay. We could supply the front line, that'd be great right now. Additional +1/+2 and fully heal, because we're going to take some damage this round. Just from our attacks. 3/6. Three damage to a unit. Which one? Okay, interesting. -3 attack. Okay, so that'll work, but he did use up most of his cards. This one attack. Go ahead and do our damage in the back line. You need to go. You're being guarded, actually. There we go. Take that guy out. That's fine. 4/6. Go and do damage there. I'd like to keep the Osaka unit pretty healthy. Keep the 2/1 back there. Get you guys to the front line. And then drop down a Warthog. Warhawk. I said Warthog. They are indeed different. And you went ahead and got your damage back. P-51 Mustang. Yeah, he'll be fine. So, this Warhawk can go ahead and clear this guy out. Should be nice. Oh. There we go. They traded. We can go ahead and attack here and be fine. Annihilation. Destroy an enemy that costs 5 or less. Enemy discards a random card. Oof. It's pretty deadly, actually. Gonna walk you forward. We'll just focus. And we'll put down the Mustang. Because that should be GG for next round, as long as nothing serious happens. Alright, we'll go ahead and give GG. Oh, he surrendered. Well, that's 2 wins today for the first episode. Not bad. And we rank up to captain. Should probably get a few additional cards. Definitely got some gold. So gold can be used to go ahead and get new packs, or we can do the other game mode of draft. So we got the Reichsbahn. Gain 3 additional credits next turn. Okay. 10 USS U.S.A. Just extra gold. Army life. Let's see, what do we get? Get Japanese Army life. Reach captain any nation. 2/2. When an order is given, deal 1 damage to your HQ and of the player that gave the order. I don't think I'll play that card either. And then the other one is draft, that you can use gold. It's 10 gold to go ahead and do a draft or a ticket, which I have 1 ticket. And so as you win more throughout drafts, go ahead and get better rewards. But I'll probably think about doing drafts probably every 10 episodes or so, just so that way we can go ahead and continue to accrue gold while and sustain that, because I don't necessarily know how good I'll be at that, because I'm still pretty new to that. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe. Have a good day.